Hey guys! In this video, I'm making a set of 6 coasters with underglaze and then underglaze transfers on top of the underglaze. And the transfers that I'm using in this video are from Sandbow and Elon transfers. So I will put those in the description box for you as well. Okay, so let's jump right into how I made these, which we're going to start on the wheel and getting my little bat a little bit wet so I can slam the ball of clay down, which I'm using half a pound of clay for each coaster. And mind you that I have not thrown in like 6 months. So bear with me. This is what happens when you don't throw for 6 months. But needless to say, I had fun making these, and they're kind of cool. I had a few issues, but we'll go through that as the video goes. So I'm coning up and down, not too much because I've already wedged it. So now I've got my hockey puck and I'm pressing down like up with a lot of force. I'm pressing down and out from the center. You can actually make plates this way too, but we'll stick to the coaster. So down hard and then like out from the center, and you want to like release a little pressure towards the rim, which clearly I didn't. So I had to like make a few adjustments. So yeah, and then I take a wood rib. I like the wood ribs like this, angled like flat against the clay. Otherwise, you'll dig right into it if it's like straight down. So I'm really compressing the clay here from the center out and then from back in, like from the rim back to the center. You can tell here that I pushed way too hard, and the clay was like soft because I had a lot of water on it, but that's okay. So I fixed it. I got rid of that, and now it's my little hockey puck that's been flattened out into like a little mini plate. So now I'm just drying it off. Like, you want to get all the water off because we're going to be adding underglaze and underglaze transfers as well. So now I'm just going to measure with my little tool, and it's too big, so I'm bringing it back in and correcting the size. You know, I'm trying to get these to like stack on each other, or at least be like the same size. And you know what? Handmade pottery is like, none of our pieces are going to be exactly the same. So like, you know, sometimes it's okay like to just know that, and not every piece is going to be exactly the same size and shape or what have you. So okay, so now that I've fixed it, I am just tidying it up again, cleaning it up, compressing a little bit, and then I'm going to make sure it's really dry and take it off the wheel. Okay, so now that these have set up, you want them to be like sticky, not soaking wet, like not super wet. Like, let them set up for maybe a couple of hours, depending on where you live and the weather and so forth. So now that it's ready to be underglazed, I am using just what I have in my basement. Like, I don't have a lot of underglaze because I don't use it that much. So these are the colors I have. So, which I didn't really love my selection. So I decided to try Mako. I have a ton of Mako Stroke and Coat. So I watered down the Stroke and Coat, and that's like that purple color in the center, which didn't turn out too well, the stroke and coat, because the transfer wouldn't stick to that. It would only stick to the underglaze, which I found really interesting. So I won't be doing that again. So you'll notice that throughout the video, I had to actually like wipe off a lot of that stroke and coat, watered down stroke and coat mix. But needless to say, they came out cool. I learned something new. So now it's time to just paint away, be creative. And another quick tip is, because I had limited colors of the underglaze, I added some white underglaze to like this really deep turquoise color, and it gave me like a much lighter blue. So that's also an idea. You can like kind of play around with that if you have limited, colors in your basement or in your studio. All right, so now that it's all painted, it's time to put the transfer over the top while the underglaze is still wet. And I like to use a flat sponge, like a mud tools sponge, and gently dab it, because if you wipe it, you're going to smear it. And if you use too much water on your sponge, it's going to like mess it all up and not work. It'll like wipe it away. So just like semi damp sponge, you're dabbing it on, making sure that the design adheres to the underglaze, and you can kind of tell, which side is wet and which side isn't. So you just want to make sure there's a good application there before you do the reveal, the peel reveal. I love this part. So I'm still dabbing as I'm pulling, because I want to make sure that it sticks. Sometimes it'll dry too quick, so I have to like re-wet it in a certain area. But that's basically it. Just pulling it off like that, and voila. So now it's time to turn it into a coaster. So I wet the bottom with a sponge, and I'm using my trimming tool to get underneath that rim and sort of just create like a, like you're trimming away a little bit just to get underneath it, so I can get like my pinky finger under there to create like a rim, without touching it, which I totally failed to do on this one because I haven't thrown in so long that it was like, um, you know, just like starting over sometimes, but it's okay. So I'm getting underneath it with my tool, getting all the schmeg off, and getting my finger under there so I can lift it and kind of make a rim, without messing up the design, and then cleaning up the rim a little bit with my sponge. And that's really it. Like, you can make, I love this because you can make like a really cool design without, while it's on the wheel. You know what I mean? While it's still like wet on the wheel. And I know on this one there's a little bit of clay that got onto the design. So I'm just waiting for the piece to become like bone dry, and then I'll scratch it off with a needle tool or something. And then if I need to touch it up, I can. So this is what they look like in the bisque state, just drying. Yeah, and then once they're fired, I can put some clear glaze over it and be done. I think they'll be so cute. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time, guys. Bye.